Welcome back to Roboquest. The last time we played, I was trying out the Commando class, and I've actually gotten a lot better at using that class lately. I've managed to beat the first boss in a given run multiple times now. I get killed in the next area before I even reach the boss, but gotta slowly improve over time. But one thing that I did manage to do is unlock the engineer class. So Ranithcord, my mod who recommended this game in the first place, he said that the engineer is actually his favorite. So it'll be interesting to try it out. I'm not anticipating that I'm going to beat a boss this time because I'll be trying out a brand new class. So we got to keep our expectations low. So this is the Commando who I've been playing for the past little while. And the thing I like about him is that he's got two backup weapons that I can use if either I'm in the wrong situation for the weapon in my hands, or I've just run out of ammo and there's an enemy who's just right in front of me. I can always use a rocket for a distant enemy and Shorty, my shotgun, for a close-up enemy. I've gotten really used to that. So it'll be interesting to see a class that's got a completely different strategy. So this is the engineer. What he does is he deploys little flying drones around him that shoot enemies, and that I guess can take damage. Because he can heal them. He's got this Tinkerer ability where he heals his drones. Basically, if he gets the ability to launch a drone, but he already has maximum drones, that action instead heals the drones. Plus, he can also fire an explosive projectile, which I guess replaces the melee attack. It's probably the right-click attack. Okay, so at least I've got an explosive projectile still, so that'll be good, though. It's weird. If it's the explosive projectile for the Commando was on right bumper, and it looks like this is probably on the right stick, on clicking the right stick. So it might invert my expectations a little bit, which could be odd. But we'll see how this goes. So Airy Twitch says that their 13-year-old is completely hooked on this game. And that it sounds wonderful. It definitely, just listening to the soundtrack, it is really catchy. I'll sometimes just sort of have it going in the background. I like that they can make the van dance during the loading screen. Okay, so open starter pack. What weapons do we have to choose from? Windmill rifle, tomahawk, bandito gun. I think of these, a bandito gun will probably be the most natural fit for me. So I think I'm going to go for that one. And now, can I use my stuff? Okay, yeah, so I can launch a drone. I can just start with two drones. Oh, wait. Oh, do they follow me? It looks like they do follow me. Oh, they have a weird way that they move. Like, they move to a spot and then they hold still. They don't just, hover around in the air all the time. That's interesting. Okay. And then my explosive projectile is that. Okay, so it's pretty fast moving. And it also recharges pretty fast, too. Okay, we'll have to see how this works. So Smug Rainbow Pony says that this feels like Borderlands, but less bloody. And that's actually one of the reasons they like it, because Borderlands has got that really sort of striking style to it. And this has got a similar kind of style. But it's not just, going for a lot of shock value. Oh. I love this early phase where most of the enemies just die in one hit, with rare exceptions. So I don't know. Oh, wait, I just realized that the little green bars at the bottom, those are the health bars for my drones. Wah. Yay, I have leveled up. All right, what do we want to do? Chromatic Tempest. Oh, that's choosing an element. Right, okay. And then this is Scrap Explosion. Taking down an enemy with critical damage triggers an explosion. Sure, that sounds good. All right, do we have a more interesting gun? Oh, the old splasher rifle. Kind of like that one. I don't need this guy. I've picked up so many power cells already. So that makes me heal more from healing cells. And then... oh, interesting. Just wild explosions. Sure, why not? I'll grab that one. I think we're good. Okay, so I do need to pay attention to those health bars at the bottom of the screen. Because that will tell me when I need to use my drone healing ability. Or I guess if one dies, it also is what'll tell me I need to use my drone replacing ability, which is the same ability, which is helpful. Oh, hi. Let's take care of that thing. Okay, I did not actually mean to do that. Okay, hold on. Yay. Okay. Okay, I'm having trouble separating the flying enemies from my flying friends. Like, I keep seeing my drones out of the corner of my eye and freaking out a little. So yeah, so this is adding noise to the frame for me, which is a little tough. Yeah, so this gun is good for when there's just a lot of enemies on the ground near each other, because then you can efficiently sort of take them out with these bursts. Oh, let's grab some of these healing orbs. Oh, they went away. But it's not great if there's a bunch of little widely separated, distant or flying enemies. Okay, transform the blaster into a ray that can apply critical damage or just increase its damage. Let's get used to the regular blaster before I start mutating it. Yes! 5 stars. S rank. Already getting the hang of this. All right. What are my weapon options now? Ooh, I love the Sheriff's Carbine. Carbine? No one knows. In fact, oh, it's already leveled up. And then I've also got the Cyclone Rifle. Now, I think I'm going to keep the Splasher. So maybe I'll upgrade the Splasher. Okay, so the thing that's nice about the drones, they don't do a ton of damage, but it's... Oh, get away from me. But it's so common for me to do almost enough damage to kill an enemy, but fall just barely short, and then have to shoot them again. It's one reason why sometimes I just kind of don't really value some things that say, oh, you'll get a 10% damage bonus. I'm like, so still the same number of hits to destroy an enemy? Because that's really what matters. I mean, unless you're using something like, oh gosh, like a beam weapon, which is constantly, like, continuously hitting the enemy, or like a rapid fire low damage weapon. Like those, a 10% damage increase means you kill enemies 10% faster. But with the guns that I tend to like to use, which are like slower firing, harder hitting guns, 10% often just means, oh yeah, you used to have to shoot them 3 times, and you still have to shoot them 3 times. And so having these little guys here is kind of nice, because I can get, almost all the way. Ooh. I can get almost all the way to destroying an enemy. Yeah, this is not good for little flying guys, is it? And then they'll just finish them off. So one thing I finally learned about this snail guy, I used to get really frustrated that it took so many hits to kill him, until I realized that his antennas are weak spots. So if I hit him in the antenna, oh, that was that secondary explosion from killing enemies from that perk I have. Oh, missed. So it made me think that maybe more enemies might have vulnerabilities than I realized. Like, maybe I've been ignoring a lot of enemies' vulnerabilities and thinking that enemies had more hit points than they do. Okay. Beluga... I forgot what Beluga Cannon did. I'm going to grab it just to remind myself. I mean, it's called a Beluga Cannon, so I'm assuming that means it fires whales. But, you know, you never know. Yeah, so Smoke Rainbow Pony says it. They say carbine because it's from a French word, and that's kind of the French pronunciation of that vowel in the original word. And that does make sense. And that is usually, honestly, I think that's probably why, even though I never thought of it that way, and I've been saying carbine for a long time just because that's, when I first saw the word, that's how I pronounced it, like as a kid, when I first saw the word. Actually, was I a kid when I first saw it? No, I think I was a young adult. I think I saw it for the first time when I was learning about Call of Duty weapons, actually. So I think it was like the early 2000s when I first saw the word carbine and pronounced it carbine. But I tend to want to pronounce things as close to the root as possible if I'm allowed to, like the word that it came from. If it's pronounced a certain way and there's a valid pronunciation that sort of reveals the etymology and sort of feels true to the history of the word. I just realized that I'd lost a drone at some point and didn't realize it. Then I tend to prefer that pronunciation just because I'm a nerd. And so now that you're explaining it that way, it makes me want to say carbine all the time. It's weird. That was a very, like, I didn't have a lot to say just there. That was a very simple idea, but because I'm playing an action game, it took me like 5 minutes to get the idea out. I don't know which way to go. I guess we'll go this way and see if we like it. Okay, so I think that this explosive thing that I can do is not as powerful as the missile that I had as the commando. I think it does significantly less damage, but I can also fire it way more often. Okay, wait, this is the end. Hold on. Okay, so sometimes, like if you want to get all the stars, you need to go fast, but I don't necessarily want to go fast. Oh, that's funny. So that little rail guy, you know, where it's like he starts moving, you try to hit him before he gets to his destination. Normally, I'm very judicious about attacking him. Like I'll attack him when I know I can finish the job, because once you attack him, he accelerates. But now I've got these two little guys who attack him on their own, and so I actually kind of have to. I have to just sort of decide to engage him early, because otherwise somebody else is going to do it. Okay, I keep firing my blaster late. There we go. All right, I think this was just an unnecessary challenge room. By the way, the dashing functionality is a little bit twitchy in this game. Like, sometimes tapping the sort of sprint button, that you're clicking the left stick, causes you to sort of get into like a permanent sprint, basically, like Call of Duty and a lot of other games. It sort of like is like the industry standard, honestly. But occasionally it won't work. Like I'll hit it and it will stop as soon as I let go, and I'll have to hold it down. So it looks like what they've done is they've implemented they've done this the way that I actually prefer to do it, which is to, if there are two different standards, one where you hold a button to sprint and one where you tap a button to start a sprint that continues on its own until you change something, you can make both work. You can say whichever one the player does, assume that that's right and just run with it. So I think they've actually made the right choice there in making both work. I think the sensitivity on detecting when I've only clicked versus when I'm trying to hold it down, I think it might be tuned to be a little bit too sensitive, so that if my click is just a little bit long, it assumes that I'm trying to hold it down, and so it kills it early. Oh yeah, so secondary explosions, cool. Here's a chest. Yeah, I don't think I need any of these. But can this guy upgrade my stuff? I don't think I need to upgrade the Beluga Canyon because I'm not using it. Healing cells more powerful. Burner explosion damage goes up. Let's do that because I use a fair amount of explosion damage in this build. Like there. So because those antennae on the big snail guy or big slug guy, because those are like critical hit areas, I'm wondering if all the red dots on all the enemies are critical hit areas. And if that's the case, I mean, that makes sense. They all have little red dots facing me. The thing is, they're often so far away from me, I can't quite tell whether I'm hitting those dots or not. So I don't know how to judge if the dots are actually making a difference. The difference is so dramatic with the snail. Like the snail, like it's night and day trying to take it down by shooting its antenna versus shooting it anywhere else. It's really obvious that that's how it works there. I think the effect might be more subtle with a lot of these other enemies. And and if that's what's happening, and I can't guarantee it is, if that's what's happening... Oh, crap, stunned. If that's what's happening, I don't know how to prove to myself that's what's happening. Okay, so the Beluga Canyon... Canyon? Yes, Canyon, that's what this is. The Beluga Cannon fires big exploding cold balls. So that might actually... Is that going to be good for a boss? I don't know. Fully restores your health. Already restored, and I don't have the power cells anyway. Smug Rainbow Pony says, tap and hold is a cool feature, but the time threshold can be a pain to calibrate. A lot of mechanical keyboards have those for keys, like tap F to type F, but hold F to hold shift. I know personally my hold timings change from day to day, so I can't expect a game to preset it correctly for all players. That does make me think that, you know, in the future, if I'm ever in charge of a thing like that, there should probably be something in the settings menu to tune the sensitivity of it, so players can fix it if it's a problem for them. Okay, this guy. Was this the guy who makes a big pit of acid around him? Yes. Okay, so I genuinely... Okay, he approaches me. Letting him get close to me is bad. Oh, great. I forgot. Okay. I'm forgetting how this guy works. I need to actually... Okay. Actually, the cold explosions are causing problems for me. Okay, so I need to do a better job of watching what he's doing and dodging it. That's my problem with this guy. Is that, oh gosh, stay away. He does a lot of things that I need to consciously dodge, and I'm bad at sort of detecting what he's doing in time. Oh yeah, see, that was the radius I needed to jump over. Oh, what was that? Yes, some of his moves, I might still not. Okay, so that right there. When he approaches me like that. Oh. When he approaches me like that. He's actually doing a melee attack. There we go. Got him. He's doing a melee attack, but he doesn't look like he's doing a melee attack. Like, it's a very, like, a lot of times when you have an enemy attack a player, you have them go, whoa, smackdown. You know, I have the big, really dramatic move. And he goes more like this. Like, it's just really, like, weird little swipe, like as a cat who's half-heartedly playing with you. And so, like, it took me forever to even figure out that was a melee attack. Because I was like, what's he... Like, he just comes up to me, and it's scary, and then I'm hurt. Anyway, this is my first time I'm actually beating a boss on the stream. So, that was cool. I'm proud of myself. My health is garbage because I was actually really terrible at fighting him, but whatever. His Beluga cannon was fun and all, but I think I can get more powerful stuff. Like, Let's just go with a straight up shotgun. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. No, I can't afford it. I can't afford these. Okay, well, let's go over here then. Neither of these looks amazing, so let's grab the power cells, and now I can afford these. I want a shotgun that fires electricity, except they're all far away from me, so I'm switching to this gun for now. When I get closer, I'll switch to the shotgun. So this is the second area. It's meant to look like kind of a weird utopian... Stop! A weird, like, utopian town or something like that. It's like Elysium or something. Oh, I appreciate that my little guys will attack enemies while I'm hiding behind cover. That's nice. Okay, there are these little guys hiding in the ground that I always miss right there. And these lines that are kind of tough to dodge. And this guy, talking about tough to dodge, they've got this little drone guy who's kind of like my drones. Like, he fires a beam at you and then charges at you and gets behind you. He does very dynamic movements, and it can be hard, you know, especially because he's always trying to get so close to you. It's hard to train your crosshairs on him. Whoa, wait. What was? Oh, you know what? I'm betting there's a guy in the ground. The guys that they hide in the ground are actually really hard. Sure. I don't know what auto-critical chance is. Maybe it's just randomly generated critical chance. Okay, little guy in the ground. Little guy in the ground. Okay, I'm letting the lines hit me because they're low down. When the lines are low down on the ground, those big line attacks, it's really easy for me to just forget they're happening. Because I'm just looking at sort of at head level, and I'm used to seeing enemies flying around, you know, in the sky, shooting down at me. So, like, lines coming at my ankles are just really easy for me to ignore. Okay, let's try this shotgun. Oh. Yeah, what's this guy doing? All right. Okay, yeah, so this shock shotgun, I don't know, these enemies tend to mostly be at very long distances. And so I think the shotgun's not helping me that much. So I don't exactly know how that laser works. And I just avoid finding out like the plague. Oh, not getting that guy. Oh crap, biggin. Okay, this is what's going to kill me. I don't think I'm in a position to successfully fight what's in the next room. I'll try to get my drones going here. That thing that is really far away, I mean, I guess it's good that it's far away because I can see its attacks coming. Sometimes you can get close to this thing and it's like, you peek your head out and it's just already hitting you with 500 things. Ow! See? It is just... Imagine if I was closer to that, how many times I would have been hit already. So I'm assuming that if I hit the red bit, that'll do more damage. Oh, it does! It does do a lot more damage. Okay, I was not super trying to hit the red bit before. But now that I know that definitely works, that's going to be part of my strategy. Alright. Can you upgrade my carbine? Thanks. Right, I can't... Okay, so this is the most annoying place because there's a bunch of heals and stuff, but only if I take the alternate branch, and I don't know how to unlock these doors. I have yet to discover how to do that. So I can't... Normally, I would heal at a break like this. But because I haven't found that key, and I don't even know how it works, I can't. I can't go in there. And so I am going to die. Because this is definitely a stage where I would normally, like, basically, I need healing at this point to get much further. So, failing that, I'm just kind of screwed. Oh, there are little guys still hiding in the ground. See that? And right there. I make a habit, traditionally, of getting on those guys and just getting murdered. Okay, so theoretically, that guy just dropped a bunch of healing that I could have gone to get and benefited myself. I'm betting that I took more damage doing that than I actually healed. So, whatever. Ow. Yeah, should have jumped that. Okay. Well, we're knocked out, but that's okay. I mean, I'm just happy to have gotten that far. So, there we go. Okay, yeah, Smug Rainbow Pony agrees with me that, yeah, those red dots are probably weak spots across the board. I think we confirmed that at the end of that big, massive guy's life, that it made a big difference me shooting him in the red dot. Hey, Tin Cat, thanks for joining me. And... yeah, Tin Cat's like, welp, when I died. I'm a failure. I've got 25 wrenches, though, so let's see what I can buy with that. Beefcake. Okay, yeah, so I can upgrade my maximum health when I level up. That seems, honestly, like, yeah, there's very little I need more health than I get. So let's go with that. Let's go and get Beefcake. I got some Beefcake. Right now I'm playing standard difficulty. Oh, wait. Oh, if I wanted to just get further in the game, I could completely lower the difficulty, like a ridiculous amount. That's interesting. So if I do hit a wall, and I'm like, I just can't get any further, maybe I should try something like that. So one thing that surprises me is, like, I'm now into the second area. Both the first area and the second area have got places where there's like a locked door that you can only get through if you have a certain key. But I haven't seen any hints in the game yet about how you get those keys. Like, and I remember there was something like that in Dead Cells too, right? Where there were like keys that you could get or like abilities you could get that would unlock, certain types of areas. And once you had them, you could optionally choose to sort of take alternate paths, go to different worlds, skip areas, or just go to places you couldn't reach before. And I would love to figure out how this game distributes those, because I haven't seen anything along those lines yet. Wait, Rainbow Pony saw something I didn't see. They reacted to seeing drawings and thinking the drawings were cute. Where were the drawings? I wasn't even looking. Where were they? Were they up here someplace? So in the story of this game, I'm a big old robot, but there's a little girl who's helping me. And so I imagine, were you looking at drawings by the little girl? In the workshop. Okay, the workshop. So over here. Oh, you mean like inside here, all these little drawings. Yeah, oh yeah, totally. These do like the little girl sort of drew a picture of what we're going to make together. Like this little rubber duck, stuff like that. Yeah, I agree. I love just the whole style of this game. And like, people were right to sort of compare it to Borderlands in sort of its kind of approach, like on a very broad scale, but they definitely went for so much more cuteness in this game versus like edginess in Borderlands. And I do really like it. Like, I just find this game a pleasant place to hang out. I mean, this is kind of, I had to edit like a million shorts because basically, so we just shot the last stream that we're going to do, last official Undead Labs stream that we're going to do this year. But I didn't want to like leave our YouTube channel hanging. So I edited like 10 short segments out of that video that I could turn into YouTube shorts or to like other little segments. And while I was editing, every time I had to cook something and I just had to wait, I was playing this game. And this game has sort of become my like little background game that I play on the side. And it's interesting because like for my particular pattern of play as this like weirdo streamer, it's perfect because like I don't want to play El Paso elsewhere on the side, because then we miss levels and we miss plot, and stuff like that. I want to play that entire game as a series on my stream, so I can't play that on the side. This game, there's no continuity. It's just, I mean, there's a little bit. There's sort of an overarching story, I think, but like, you play the same runs again and again and again, or very similar procedurally generated runs that play the same role in the story again and again and again and again. And so I can just play this all day and just sort of come back and give you an update later on. And I kind of like that pattern of play is really, really good for me in particular getting into a game, because it means that, like, I don't feel like I'm locked into sort of like a plan that I have for how I'm going to stream it. I can just do whatever I want with a game like this. Smug Rainbow Pony says run-based games are nice like that. I think a lot of my favorite games, it turns out, like games that have really become my go-tos for long periods of time, have been run-based games. I just realized. Even some of them are like longer-term run-based games. Like you could technically call RimWorld a run-based game, right? Because it's all procedurally generated. Every game of it is different. You're not missing anything if you don't watch me playing, a RimWorld game. Like I can have a side RimWorld game that I'm playing while also playing a main game on the stream, and they don't interfere with each other. There's not a single story that I'm getting out of step with or anything like that. Zomboid is kind of that way too. Again, very long-term runs if you're, doing okay, but it's still that. But then there's also stuff like FTL and Into the Breach and Invisible Ink, which are, some of my favorite games of all time, many of which I played mostly before I had this stream, so you didn't get to see me when I was like at my height of enthusiasm about them, but they have the same kind of pattern too. I think that is just sort of, when I'm playing a game to relax on my own time, a lot of the time what I'm really looking for from it is not, I have to get to the next chapter, I have to experience this emotional catharsis in the story. I don't want to have those linear experiences. In fact, they're intimidating to me. I want to have them generally. Like right now I'm still slowly trying to make my way through Alan Wake 2, and I love it, and I really want to get to the next chapter and see what happens, but also that game requires an emotional investment. I have to sit down and that's the thing I'm doing right now. Whereas a lot of these run-based games, there's no that kind of structured story with emotional catharses and stuff like that, where you have to really be in the right frame of mind and ready to experience these emotions. Like you don't have to do that. A lot of these run-based games are just like, sit down and live in this world for a little while, or play these kinds of challenges for a bit, and it's got a little bit of a flat emotional structure to it. But I think a lot of the time, like what you usually want from a story is a very bumpy emotional structure where there's highs and lows and suspense and payoff. But I think with a lot of my favorite games that I like to relax with, there's a much steadier emotional arc to it, and I can find it like to be sort of a comforting place to sink into, where there will still be like moments of excitement. It's not, but they're not structured storytelling moments of excitement. So like, I don't know, it just feels different for me, and it's hard for me to explain it exactly. Like I'm struggling. I'm making this up off the top of my head and struggling to explain what I'm thinking of. But I feel like there's something there to these run-based games that makes them appropriate for what I'm looking for when I'm trying to relax with a game. Hades, that's another example, Smug Rainbow Pony. Yeah, I played a ton of Hades for a while, and it had the same benefit. I was like, yeah, I'll sit down and play some Hades. I don't know what's going on in Hades right now, but who cares? I just want to play some Hades, and it's just nice and rewarding. Okay, but anyway, I gotta go pick up my daughter, so I'm gonna get out of here. But thank you all for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun for me, and I'm proud that you finally got to see me beat a boss in this game for the very first time, and then get completely smoked by the next level. But that's okay. I'm gonna keep playing this, and we'll see how much better I get over time. Anyway, there is the subscribe button behind the microphone I snapped, so the magical effect didn't really happen, but whatever. I should put my hand here next time. I'm garbage.